call the regular board meeting of the trustees, Village of North Hudson on Tuesday, 7 May at 7 p.m. Would the clerk take a roll, please?
Trustees Head,
Here.
Klein,
Here.
O'Brien Berglund,
Here.
Rhodey,
Here.
Standifer, absent. President Wecken,
Here.
Trustee Zappa.
Okay, thank you very much. Item 2 on the agenda. Being new president, I would like to try something a little different. I believe that our country needs a little guidance, and so I have proposed to start our village meetings with a prayer. And after discussion with council, it is a discussion and possible approval item. So if I could have anyone make a motion so that we can discuss for adoption.
You need to stand just a motion to discuss?
It's for approval. I'll make the motion to start our village board trustees meetings with a prayer.
Typically with parliamentary procedure, you can get something on the table by making a motion and making a second. You can always vote against your own motion if you want to. It's just to get it on the table so you can have a discussion of it. Although we haven't always followed that practice of strict parliamentary procedure in the past.
Second by Paul. Thank you, Paul. Discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
So, a couple of questions for you, Stan.
Yep.
The email that Terry put out, were we charged for this email to determine if we can actually open
Sure.
by the hour as normal?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Stan, what's the reasons for your wanting to open for a prayer with the prayer? And let me preface, I am by no means opposed to opening with a prayer. I pray with my wife at home and with my children, but I'm not so sure that the village hall is the proper place to.
Well, history shows that the founders with the Declaration, and they opened. In fact, Congress still has a paid chaplain on to open each session with a prayer. We have a picture in the corner over by our flag that has the founders in they are all in prayer, and I believe that the country and the guidance and for guidance for this board, if we think, I think Ben Franklin said, if a sparrow can fall to the ground without his knowledge, are we anyone's to think that we can, this country or this board can function without some guidance? That is just the main reason for me. I believe we need help.
So, could it be possible that we meet prior to open session and pray about guidance at that point in time, rather during? Just a suggestion.
No,
Well, can I ask what kind of format it'll be, Stan?
it will be non-sectarian. It will be prayers that I come up with so that we don't offend anyone. I don't believe it is not mean.
So,
It's meant
to me, excuse me, you don't need to explain anymore. I view it as president, it's tantamount to your opening remarks.
Okay.
And outside of violating, it certainly is respectful to ask everybody, but you're entitled to opening remarks at any meeting. Am I incorrect?
No, we have the president's comments.
Yep.
Yeah.
I view it as that kind of goes with the territory of that. As far as leading a prayer session, that's what I was asking what the format would be.
No, it's not a session. It's just, I would just, I have a short prayer written that, I would say or not say. But I don't want to offend the board or any of our citizens. I would just, I believe, that, we're all here for a purpose, and Lord knows we need some help. So
I agree with Trustee Zappa. I think it can be a part of your opening comments. no matter what we do, we offend people, so it doesn't matter. Part of your opening comments and leave it at that.
Okay. Well then, so we don't need a vote? Or,
My suggestion would be that you do, that policy gets set by the board, not by just the president, and I just think that the policy should be set by the board, so that I would recommend that the board votes. I don't think it's a legal requirement, but that would be my
I
recommendation.
wasn't suggesting not voting, but I was trying to frame it in a palatable.
so I can put it in, I'll just start my comments with that. Is that?
Well, I'm just saying that there is room for the president's opening comments in our
Okay.
agenda every single meeting we have.
Okay,
And from my perspective, I don't see why that can't be part of your opening comments. I don't mind sending it to a vote. I think that's, shows respect for the board, so the vote is not out of line, but I was just throwing in how I'm looking at it.
okay. No, that's,
Just in the sort of the order of business though, Mark, I think the president's comments often come down a ways. In fact, under this agenda, which is a little different from past
I
agendas,
get
it's all the
that,
way down at
I
number
get
11.
that, Terry, but what I'm saying is, in the
Yeah.
agenda, there's room for opening comments.
Yep.
And I'm not sure where we've censored anybody before on that area, so worst case scenario, the president would be entitled to what he's asking for right now regardless, right?
I'm not positive, I think so.
Okay.
Of course, anybody's always entitled to say a silent prayer. Again, I think it's a policy though, and it is a somewhat controversial policy, so my suggestion, my recommendation would be that there is a board vote on it to set the policy.
okay.
So policy in what respect?
You're changing the way you do a board meeting to something that's different from the way you've always done it in the
Okay.
past, and to say a prayer.
Okay.
Any further comments? Okay, all in favor of the president being allowed to say a prayer with opening comments, say aye.
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 Thank you. All opposed?
Respectfully, Stan, I would prefer to do it prior to, so I am opposed.
Okay, sounded, I don't know, I thought ayes have it, but thank you, Ted, for your comments. And so I do have a short prayer, and, we can have further discussion, but Sovereign Lord, we pray for our country at all times. We pray for all those who guide and govern. Help them in every situation to know to do the things that are right and just, with soundness of judgment in making vital decisions, praying always particularly for the peacemakers, that your holy life-giving spirit may ever dwell in their hearts, and that barriers of fear, suspicion, and hatred may fail. Amen. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, item number 3, review approval of the minutes from the regular board meeting 26 March and the reorg meeting of 16 April.
Do you want these separate, Stan, or just one at a time? Your preference.
Let's go, I think and to save a little time, let's do both of them at once. They're both in the same line.
I move we accept the minutes as presented for both the March 26th board meeting and for the April 16th reorganization meeting.
Thank you, George.
Second.
Who was first?
Yeah.
Ted? Thanks, Ted. Okay, so any discussion or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor of accepting the minutes as written for 26 March and 16 April, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, passes. Comments from the floor. Opportunity for residents to make the board aware of topics, issues, opportunities not on today's agenda. And we don't don't have nearly the crowd. So I don't see any there. So item number 5, appointment of George Klein to village trustee position. Apparently last at the reorg meeting, we had a unanimous choice, but we failed to take the vote. So if everyone would,
Do you feel he's qualified?
Villages do that.
probably more than he is compensated for. So all in favor of the unanimous decision that George Klein be appointed to the village trustee position to fill out the last year of my term, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Welcome, George, to the board.
I feel like I should have been sitting out in the audience.
And what is your name, is it?
Did we have to do a motion for that, or we can just do
There
that?
should have been a motion and a second if there wasn't, yeah.
Well, we had a motion and a
was at the
second to
There was a-
discuss, and then,
But the motion last time was to close the nominations
all right.
and
Let's have
cast
a
a
motion.
unanimous
All right.
vote.
I'll move to
Thank you,
appoint
Melissa.
George Klein.
Thank you, Mark.
To fill the trustee position vacated by Stan Wecken.
Second.
Thank you, Colleen. Okay, now, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Yeah,
Stuck, you
I know we- I-
can't get out of
there
it,
should be
George,
a
that's
little-
like 3 times.
could be a little discussion anyway.
Which way did you vote, George?
I didn't. I couldn't vote on that. Some would say furthermore that any votes that I made at the last, at the reorg meeting were null and void. But none of them, and we did investigate this, and none of the votes were even close, so it's a non-issue. And that's just, I just wanted to say that in case somebody was concerned.
Okay, item number 6, proclamation declaring 5 May through 11 May 2013 as Municipal Clerks Week. Approval requested. Our good governor proposed that this week be made an appreciation of municipal clerks. And the proclamation we have before us, there's a lot of whereases and previous discussion with our wonderful clerk and staff. They said, just go down to the important part on the bottom. So now, therefore, I, Stan Wecken, Village President of the Village of North Hudson, do recognize the week of 5 May through 11 May as Municipal Clerks Week and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Melissa Ludke, and to all municipal clerks for the vital service they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent, dated this 7th day of May 2013.
Second.
Thank you, Colleen. Any discussion? All in favor of the week of 5 May to May 11th as Clerks Appreciation Week, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Melissa, thank you very much for your service. Okay. Okay, number 7, North Hudson Elementary Fun Run, Wednesday, 29 May. Authorization to temporarily close roads around the school, approval requested. We have done this, I don't know, George, maybe you can refresh, how many years past?
Quite a few.
Quite a few years past, and it has been approved by the chief, and it, and we have approved this for the, the little darlings to be able to run around the blocks without fear of being run over, so if we could have a motion.
And can I authorize traffic restriction on Webster Street North from Lemon Street North to Helen Street North, and Helen Street North from Webster Street North to Monroe Street North, and Monroe Street North, Jesus, from Helen Street North to Lemon Street North,
That
for
was
the
earlier.
North Hudson Elementary School Fun Run on Wednesday, May 29, 2013, from 2:30 PM to 3:30 PM, with an alternate rain day set for Wednesday, June 5th, 2013, from 2:30 PM to 3:30 PM.
Thank you, Mark.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of having the North Hudson Fun Run, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And
Stan, just to clarify, that's, the fun run's on. This motion was simply to block off the roads.
okay,
Okay?
Melissa, so noted, duly
I
corrected.
think that's what the motion was, so we're
Yes.
good on that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can't rule the school yet, is that what you just said?
Gotta get elected to the Board of Education first.
Good luck with that one. Okay, item number 8, resolution 2013-05, approving all hazard mitigation plan approval requested.
Can I move to approval of resolution number 2013-05?
Thank you, Mark. A second.
I'll second.
Thank you, George. Discussion.
Yes, I have a couple comments regarding the actual hazard mitigation document. On page 315 of that document, there is the following. It's relating to community safe room, public storm shelter, parenthetically. And the quote is, "No public safe room, but most homes with basements and not a large demand to date." Well, my concern with that is I thought we do have a public safe room, and it is this building and this basement. In fact, in 2007, when we designed the addition, I was under the impression, one of the things that we built into it. And hence that $12,000 generator that's out back, believe that's what we paid for it.
That worked great.
And that, I should hope so. It's run monthly, it's tested, and that's my only concern here. Now, and it says, but most homes with basements. Well, that may be, but we still have all but one home on Sally's Alley does not have a basement. We have other homes in the area, and we also have quite a few businesses. As a matter of fact, I don't know of any of the businesses in town that do have a basement, except for Mark's. Yeah, most of the businesses, all of them down in the shop yards. If any of the people who work there need a safe place, I would hope that they would come to the village hall if it's their only option. And so I just throw that out on the table that I was hoping that the chief would be here, but if you could convey that, or,
I just remember that meeting when we met with Kristen Saylor
Yeah.
and I can't remember the other gentleman's name. I thought that got brought up, and it was determined that no, the village hall is an area for like Red Cross
All right.
or for a staging area.
Post-emergency.
Yeah, but not for.
It has to be like an emergency communications center.
And not necessarily for a shelter. It's not considered a shelter. But
Okay.
that's all I remember from that meeting.
If,
I don't-
come down to it, it's better than being inside.
Well,
what I'm looking at, we got a concrete floor, a concrete ceiling, and concrete walls. My house doesn't have all that. I definitely don't have a concrete roof.
I don't know what requirement, I mean, for it to be a shelter, would there be a requirement that you'd have to respond and have certain things open
I think it
at?
says that there'd have to be somebody that.
Food.
The building is open.
Right, within I mean, could we be liable if people showed up and couldn't get in for some reason? Heaven forbid.
Would you need supplies
There are 7
down there, like
trustees,
food or,
all who live in this,
Yeah.
live in this
medical
community.
things or something
right,
like
And
yeah.
that?
all I gotta do is contact one trustee, and this place is open. I'm just throwing it, I don't wanna hold it up, but I'm hoping that as we look at this down the line, we take a second look at it, somebody looks at this and says, wait a minute, that client already addressed that issue, and we think that this is a safe shelter. And that's all I wanna do, is bring that up to
Well,
perhaps the public safety, and they can take it back. And that's all.
no, that would be a concern. I mean, but then do we come every time they blow the sirens? Is somebody, we have a list that somebody comes down here and locks the door?
I don't know.
That's, I mean, personal responsibility wise, I mean, people, I mean, they, you know, should be seeking, if there's a storm, I don't want them traveling, you know, if we get caught, you know, something like that too. My interpretation of what this, resolution was discussing is that in order, if we did have an event, that we would, you know, we needed to be on this plan in order to, if we would ever need FEMA money or whatever. I didn't get as far into the plan as you did. I just
Okay.
read what we had there, but I would hope that if the sirens go, you hit your basement or your bathtub or whatever you have at your particular structure,
We could look into it again.
and
just
holler at a
ask-
neighbor, you know, I mean, it's like, hey, I haven't got a basement, you know, I mean, can I?
I'll withdraw my motion
Okay,
if you want to readdress it.
What was that in here?
Mark would like to with.
No, I said if there's a strong enough feeling that that particular item in this plan, it needs to be readdressed.
No, I would not, Mark, I
Storm
would
season.
discourage you from that.
Okay.
I don't want to hold this up.
Okay,
The plan is like, as far as I'm concerned, 99.9% accurate, and I'm fine with it.
Okay.
It was just that one line where it says, "No public safe rooms."
okay,
So,
all right.
okay?
Okay, so, Mark, are you,
I'm good. Keep the motion.
we have a motion and a second and discussion. Any further discussion? Okay, since it is a resolution, we need a roll call vote. Paul, start us out, please.
Approve.
Yes.
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 Okay, 6-0. Thank you, everyone. Nice discussion. Okay, next on the agenda, Resolution 2013-06, declaring intent to levy special assessments for shop yards, sanitary sewer, water main improvements, project approval requested.
Stan, could I move for approval, resolution number 2013-06? As you said, the preliminary resolution declaring intent to levy special assessments under police powers pursuant to section da-da-da-da-da for the shop yards project.
Thank you, Mark. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, George. Further discussion?
Are we really exercising police power?
That's what it's called.
Is it?
Police powers,
Sounds kind of
yes.
authoritarian to me.
You want to do that for a special assessment, there's a lot of reasons for that, but police power doesn't mean police like criminal type stuff.
Yeah.
It means protecting the health, safety, and welfare of the community. The ordinances that protect the health, safety, and welfare of the community are the police power or type ordinances.
I see that we have our engineer in the room. Kevin, would you like to talk about this, please?
Just quickly. So basically, this is just a document that kind of starts the whole special assessment process. Once the village board approves that, gives us the go-ahead to actually generate the preliminary assessment report, which will actually put numbers, some anticipated costs that are going to be associated for the assessments. And there's a map that's been provided on the second page that gives you an idea of which parcels we're looking at special assessing. And again, this is just for the street reconstruction down there. Doesn't have anything to do with the sanitary sewer and water main. That part of it will actually come out of the sinking funds.
Are there any, so I took a drive down over the weekend just to get a visual. Are there any residents affected by it? Or is it all business?
It's all business.
All business?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So there'll be 9 parcels that'll be affected as part of this special
And
assessments.
the village owns one of them.
Yep. Yep. So there is some frontage on the backside of a couple lots on Cherry Circle North, but their access is off of that roadway, so there wouldn't be any special assessments for those people.
Any other questions for Kevin or any other comments from anyone?
It's pretty cut and dry.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, that's another resolution. So, George, would you like to start us out this time?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, item 9 completed.
Let me see if I
Adoption
can
of
beat Elijah a
ordinance
little quick on that.
03, 2013, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 3, Boards, Commissions, and Committees, Division 2, Board of Review, Section 2-121, Membership Terms, Approval Requested.
Basically, this is just a cleanup. The people that are already on here that have been appointed, somewhere in the past, the ordinance didn't get corrected. So all this is doing is really cleaning up.
Can I move to approve ordinance number 03-2013?
Thank you, Mark.
Second.
Thank you, Ted. Any further discussion? Clean up the code book. Okay, again, let's see, an ordinance, we would do roll call, we've been in the past. Paul, you want to start us out?
Yes.
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 Set an alarm down there. Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay, next, on the agenda, number 11, business from the board or staff. I will try to be brief with this, but first, I would like to recognize Gloria, has, at her last training session, has achieved the Certified Municipal Treasurer of Wisconsin designation. If the cameras are here, there's a nice plaque, or a nice certificate. We're not sure if they're sending a plaque or not, but in appreciation for Gloria's service and hard work, I would like to thank her on behalf of the village and the board, hopefully, that for a job well done, and appreciate your commitment.
Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah, give it up.
Okay, just a couple other brief things. I think it's finally spring.
Yeah.
We've had a couple issues, and with spring, we have the opportunity for severe weather. Some of us in the village have experienced what severe weather or weather can do to you with power outages. We've had a couple of those in the last couple of weeks. So just a reminder to all the folks that, check your flashlights, check your batteries. Nothing worse than grabbing a flashlight, when the lights go out and and the batteries aren't working and you forgot where you put the spares. Have, candles and other assorted emergency supplies necessary. Have a couple days worth of food or whatever. I mean, the other morning there was, our Freedom Station was the lone gas pump in this area that was working. So if you needed to get somewhere, your vehicle, could have had issues, because without electricity, those gas pumps don't work. And we found that out in the first one when they had trouble resetting their computers, that the gas pumps wouldn't come on the next morning, and I had to drive north to get gas. So it's just something please be prepared for. Another thing, I think everybody's probably saw it in the paper. I know they did a nice job of covering it, but there is a new county policy on the sirens. They will not all go off at the same time throughout the county as they had before. There's quadrants, I believe, is how they have that set up now. It will be interesting how they function, and Daryl's not here, but I would send a text or an email to Daryl every time the sirens went off and our skies were blue and clear in Hudson, when there was a storm someplace else. So that's going to kind of ruin some of my fun. This is the month of May, and one thing I'd like to just remind people of, it is the first holiday of the summer. It is Memorial Day. I hope that everyone would recognize what Memorial Day stands for, and that we honor our fallen soldiers and all military folks. There is always a very nice service at the Willow River Cemetery on Memorial Day, which is the 27th this year. Please pay attention to the Star Observer. They always do a nice job of covering that. And I'd also like to say hello to some of our veterans. Don Gilbertson has watched us for years on here, and he's a World War II vet. If you see some of our World War II vets, please thank them. They're not around. They, hopefully they'll be with us a long time, but, you always want to say that. And I missed an opportunity today for a real hero. Daryl showed me this. William Isaacson of Afton, he flew over 150 combat missions in the Vietnam War, and they had a nice little program for him over in Afton today. And I'm sorry for other veterans, I don't have all their names, but again, it's a time to appreciate our service people, and they've given up a lot. Next week is Fallen Police Officers Day. Please check the papers and stuff. There is a nice event going to be, I believe it's next Tuesday or Wednesday up at Hudson High School. Let's see. I think that's enough for me if we're going to get out of here. Gloria, your comments, please.
I will hold my comments for the working budget update.
Okie dokie. Village Clerk, Melissa, do you have anything for us?
I'd just like to thank the election workers for all their hard work for the past spring election, and then also for all the residents who came out and voted.
Thank you. Okay. Item 12 on the agenda, Plan Commission. I don't believe they met, and there's no one here from Plan Commission, so that's put us on to item 13, Personnel Finance Committee recommendations.
Stan, can I move to approve the April 2013 non-recurring claims totaling $35,861.88?
Thank you, Mark. Have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor? Oh, that's a budget thing. That's a budget thing. Caught myself. George, would you like to start us out?
Yes.
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 Yes, thank you all. Let's see, second item, Deputy Treasurer job description approval requested. We had a discussion during finance that we've asked Gloria to create job descriptions for our staff so that we have a way to rate them should it come time for a raise, and or should we need, they find greener pastures, and should we find a need to hire someone else, we'd like to know what we expect of them, and everybody is on board with that. So if, let's see, I would like to make the motion that the job description of the deputy treasurer be approved.
Second it.
Thank you, Mark. Let's not find spending or anything like that, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. We did talk about the Director of Public Works job description. There's a little tweaking that's going to be done on that, so we basically tabled it for the next meeting so that can be finished off, so that's off the list. 2013 working budget update. Gloria, the floor is yours.
Just to let you know that, as you may or may not be aware of by my email, we have completed our audit. I was to the penny which matched the audit's ending balance of our unassigned funds, so that was nice. And we finished up in record time of 2 days. It used to take 2 weeks. The village is in good health. It took a lot of tough decisions last year, but we ended 2012 with a $77,000 surplus. Some of the reasons for that is the court was came in $6,926 over. Interest was $11,000 over. Miscellaneous revenue, $3,977, and then we had donations of $2,836. General government came in under budget, which of course helps, 16,000. PD came in under by 28, and Public Works came in under by 23. So that accounts pretty much for the reasoning for the overage. With that being said, moving that 77,000 into our undesignated funds will put us over that 25% policy limit that we require. So next month you will see a recommendation to possibly purchase or put money aside for a public works truck. The truck is making unusual noises. I had the opportunity to ride in it the other day, so I can vouch for that, and a skid loader. And then with the selling of the police squad and what,
Did you ride in a skid loader, did you say?
No, she rode a utility truck.
That would be safe, one operator.
with the money that the police received for the sale of their squad car, plus what we had saved, they would only need an additional 14,500 to replace that, a vehicle, aging vehicle, which would still leave us with a undesignated or unassigned fund of 530,000. So, also, I'd like to thank Mr. Ekblad for his good work in the 215 fund, the storm water utility fund, that had been running at a deficit of 31,000. Watching the budget and spending, we've gotten that down to negative 17,000. And if you can do the same thing next year, we should be in the on the front side of that. So great job, thank you. That's
It's still negative.
It's still negative.
I would like to thank all
I look at
of
it as
it.
50% better than what it was.
Yeah.
I'll take it any day.
I'd be out of business.
I think we've had an outstanding job by all the staff and, you know, and our department heads and stuff for saving the money, and these are tough times, so, I will start out thanking to the group, you know, for doing this, and hopefully we can keep up with that for our taxpayers. Let's see, next item on the agenda, Public Works Committee, and, Daryl is not here, so, Mark, is there any, update, or you want to give us a quick synopsis? You got to look at what we got here. We got street sweeping contract. We got.
Basically, the only thing the committee addressed was the public work, or the shop yards project, and then also the street sweeping contract and it's still doing.
Great. Thank you.
I move to approve the street sweeping contract for 2013 and to 2014.
Second.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, George. Let's see, that's a spending. George would like to start us out.
Yes.
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 Okay. And the next item is the New Holland skid steer exchange.
Stan, I would like to suggest a motion.
Or
Move to recommend exchange the Village of North Hudson's 2011 New Holland skid loader for a new 2013 New Holland skid loader from Value Implement at a cost not to exceed $3,800.
thank you, Ted. Second by Mark.
Yes.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, and Paul, you want to start us out? Or any discussion?
I was in the meeting. It seems like a good deal, so.
Yeah, I believe we've done this in the past. It's, you know, it's a way to upgrade without spending, what are they, 60, you know, or whatever, $1,000 for a new one. It keeps our equipment fresh and always gives the guys a new toys to play with, you know, so life is good. That's what I was looking for, you know. Thanks, Mark.
who seconded that?
I did.
Mark.
Thank you.
Okay, Paul would like to
Yes.
start out. Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, very good. Thank you all. Let's see, public safety. Mark,
Did
is there
not
an
meet.
update? Public safety did not meet. Thank
Excuse me
you.
just a second, Stan.
Okay, sure.
I have no knowledge of that.
Do you want me to say something about it?
No.
Yeah, without Mark here, we'll skip that one. Okay, and public welfare, Ted, I don't think.
We did not meet.
You did not meet. Okay. Bring us down. Next item on the agenda, Park Board Committee, Colleen.
We did meet, and we do have some scouts who are considering their Eagle Scout project to be building a shelter in Summers Landing Park. So we look forward to working with them and hope that project works out. It'll help us and help them. And they had a couple other ideas for some Eagle projects too. And then also, we do have one item that, down in Glen Oaks Park, we'd like to update that a little bit, get something in there, geared for the younger kids, since there are a lot of little kids around in that area. So I moved to purchase, that Kawa Bungalow playset from BYO Recreation for a total estimated amount of $9,651.44, and that was in the budget.
Second.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Mark. Let's see, that is spending through the park department, so,
Just
or
like
their
this.
discussion.
Colleen, was there any follow-up to the offer from the Lions Club?
I've contacted them a few times.
Okay.
But I haven't heard back from them.
That's all I need to know.
Okay, and that is out of designated park funds and stuff, so it's not out the regular board, but we will take a roll call vote. George? would you-
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Just one other thing, I'd like to read a letter that was here. It says, "Dear Public Works of North Hudson, our family wanted to thank you for providing North Hudson with an ice rink throughout the winter and maintaining it. We have used it and enjoyed it countless of times. We have appreciated it all the more knowing that ice rinks in the outdoor get fewer and fewer. So many thanks from the Field family." So, thank
Very
you.
nice. Thank you to Public Works for the good job you did on that.
Can I add I think, not mentioned here, but Terry Fellon, who
Yes, Terry Fallon,
grooms
too.
the ice each year at no cost, he volunteers to do that, should be included in that. Thank
Right,
you,
thank you.
for sure.
Oh, the-
I actually brought the card up, they haven't card, and Terry brought the card back, they haven't hung up here. I didn't, he wasn't telling them that, Terry does volunteer to do it.
Okay, yeah, no, I just wanted,
The only thing Public Works does, we make sure that all the snow gets cleared off of it, and anything else.
I'm not diminishing your effort, I'm just saying Terry was a volunteer who helped.
Terry is a great volunteer in the
He does
village,
a
that is
lot.
for sure. There's one last thing that it's just, possible education opportunity. Sheriff, or the St. Croix County Sheriff, John Schultz, is going to speak at the Kilcarney Golf Course at 6:30 on this Thursday night on the constitutional duties of a county sheriff. I believe it would be very interesting if you're interested in learning about our sheriff and his, responsibilities. And then there is a DVD, I think they're called after that, with Chris Ann Hall, who's a speaker on constitutional law. She's a constitutional lawyer, and there's going to be a video there. So it'd be great to see a bunch of folks down there support our sheriff. I mean, they have a lot of responsibilities, and I know he'd be more than happy to have questions asked. So the next item on the agenda would be, I believe, Mr. Zappa owns this.
Dan, I'd like to move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mark. This meeting would be adjourned at 7:44. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Stan.